Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all having a great day and I hope you're all doing well. In today's video, I'll be showing you the processes of how I prepare for my exams. So if you would love to prepare for your exams and you struggle to prepare for exams, I'll be showing you all the processes that I go through to prepare for my exams and to also succeed in my exam. This is something that I've always done since my university days, so this is something that's always been in my life. It's the process I've always been following and I've always had the best results at the end of the day if I go through these processes. So if you would like to learn one or two things about how I prepare for my exam and you want to implement that into your exam preparation, please keep watching. And if you're new here, my name is Esther. I'm a current Pre-reg Pharmacist working in a community setting, so I share things more like study related, lifestyle, productivity style content. So if you're new, please welcome and thank you for joining the family. And please, if you watch this video, please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and also share this with your friends, because I always know that that's one way or the other we can all learn from each other. So yeah, welcome. So before we go straight into the video, I think this is the exam season for everyone, and let me know in the comments if you are actually preparing for an exam or you're currently writing an exam. Please let me know in the comments. So before I go into how to prepare for my exam, I'm just going to tell you, because some of you might be like, well, she's graduated, why is she preparing for an exam? As you all know, I'm a pre-registration pharmacist here in UK, and at the end of my 1 year pre-registration training, I have to sit a national exam called the GPHC exam, and it is this exam that I am preparing for. So it's like you're using your whole 1 year of work and study experience to actually sit this exam, and it is divided into two ways, which is one of them is calculations and the other part is the clinical aspect where they test your clinical knowledge. So it is only when you pass this exam that you can get registered with the government, and like that is how you can get to practice by yourself. Does that make sense? So you're not really under anyone's supervision. Every decision you take responsibility for it after you pass that exam. So it's sort of grooming us ready to go be on the floor without anybody. Of course you're going to have people managing you and things like that, but just to sort of know that you know what you're doing, if that makes sense. So that's the exam I'm preparing for. This week I found out that my exam is in June, which is typically 5 months from now, which I'm quite excited about. I don't know if I'm excited, but yeah, I'm quite excited about it, because then I have a purpose and I have something to look forward to, because now I know it's going to be in June. Of course, I don't have a date yet. I think by next week or by the end of this week they will let us know when the dates are going to be like and when we can start registering to sit the exam. Funny enough, due to the pandemic, previously the exam was done in a Pearson View Center and some were done online, but I think this year we'll be going back to sitting the exam physically in an exam center where you get given a paper and things. I don't know if it's going to come to base, but you're going to be in a center to sit the exam this year. So we're all getting back to normal, which is quite exciting. So that is what I'm currently preparing for, and that is why I'm preparing for an exam. So today I just wanted to show you how I prepare for my exam. There are so many things I do to prepare for my exam. So the first thing you need to do is to sort of put together all your resources. These are things that you know you're going to need with your revision. This could be your textbooks, your lecture notes, your summary notes, your notebooks, even your pen, your bio, everything you think you need for this revision. As obvious as this might sound, there are some people that still don't do this, because by missing this little obvious moment when you're preparing for your revision, this can jeopardize a lot of things that you've got planned. For example, while you're going through your revision, there could be something that you actually needed the resources to help with a certain topic or a certain subject, and by this you will be distracted trying to look for the resources when you could have actually gathered everything you think you're going to need for that revision. That can just waste your time, first of all, and also distract you completely from the plan you've set yourself for your revision. Then make a plan or a timeline for your revision. This is very important, because then you can visually see the type of content and the amount of content you need to cover for you to be successfully prepared for that exam. And The way I do this is, for example, what my revision this time around covers is like system based. So let's say I decide to go over gastrointestinal system. I'm going to look into that topic and see what all the subtopics I need to cover. Maybe diarrhea, constipation, hemorrhoids, irritable bowel syndrome. I will then subgroup them together, and then like that I will be able to figure out how long I have to cover each topic, each subtopic, for me to be able to complete that whole topic. So for example, I could decide to say in 3 weeks I want to cover all of GI system, which includes all the subgroups. So maybe I'm going to do 2 subgroups per day or 1 subgroup per day, depending on what I am able to do physically and in terms of my mindset as well. By doing this, I'm able to see things visually, all I need to cover, and by this I won't be able to leave any stone unturned. So I'll make sure that I actually cover every topic that is needed. While I'm planning, I'm making my plan for this revision thing, making my timetable or my timeline for this studying. I always make sure that I have like 2 weeks before the exam. I leave that not touched. I just leave it empty. And this is because if I need to go through more practice paper, if I don't cover something and I feel like I need more time, I can use those 2 weeks to cover up those things. So my main revision would have been done, but those 2 weeks are just there for me to actually cover things I wasn't able to cover from my plan initially. Then it's time to study. So you've done all your planning, you've done all your preparation and everything like that. This is now the time everyone's ready, which is to actually sit by the desk and actually start cracking on that content one after the other. So the only way I do this is to literally help me to set my mind, and this helps you to sort of prepare for the things you could expect, that or things that you think could happen with that exam, what angle the questions are going to go through, or what ways the topic is good, the lecturer is going to ask the question. So it helps you to prepare your mind and helps you to prepare for what you could expect or what you could come across during the exam. This is another time where you need to know that discipline is key. At this point, procrastination is not even an option here, because if you procrastinate, you're going to meet it at the end. So the best thing is actually crack on instead of keeping the workload together to the end of the day, and you feel so overwhelmed and burnt out from the amount of content you have to cover. This helps you to be very, very efficient with your studying. When I mean by being efficient, I mean that you're getting the most out of every little time you spend studying. So you don't end up spending a whole 4 hours in study and you do not get anything out of it. That is very useless time. So you want to make sure that you're very efficient with your time, you're very efficient with your studying, and you get the most out of it. This is the point where you want to get every distractions out of the window. If you have to put your phone, like switching your phone off and putting it in another room, yes, be my guest. If that is the only way you can do it. Some people say they study with noise and background. I can't do that. I'm a very complete quiet person. I really want to hear the drop of a pin when I'm studying. That is how quiet and how I assimilate things. So that is what works for me. If you're someone that you can't easily get distracted, you can have your phone next to you, but just know that just make sure that you sort of discipline yourself and know what works for you and what does not work for you at this point, by make sure that you get the most out of your study session. So the next point is that you need to use the study method that works for you. Everyone has a different study method. Some are visual, some are kinesthetic, some are auditory. Just use something that works for you. I always say there is no one rule to studying. There are different ways you can go about it. You could be a visual learner, but the type of things you're actually learning does not work with visual learning. You have to learn it in an auditory manner, then do it. If what you have to do, you have to be hands-on in terms of revising, then do it, because there are different study methods that sort of works with different type of content that you're studying, if that makes sense. Know what works for you and what works best for you. Of course, do not be too rigid. You can't always try something, because what you think works for you might not be something that will work for you at that moment. So you should be open to try something else. For example, if you have a theory-based exam where you have to write down a detailed explanation on a particular topic, then you know there is no point wasting your time, first of all, going through the past papers without going through the lecture notes. So you know that you want to go through your lecture notes, learn it in detail, know it by heart before you go to practice the questions. For example, another example would be calculations, math related exams. It doesn't make any sense to read math notes. Who reads math notes? I've seen some people do it. I'm like, there is no point reading. You need to actually put a pen on that book and start practicing. That is the only way you can learn calculations. So that way, my visual learning would not help without me practicing the question or actually doing something. So that is how it is. Also, in terms of if you have MCQ based question, just go through lots of practice questions in MCQ styles to help reinforce your knowledge of what you're learning. So make sure that you know the study method that works for you, and you're actually doing something that works for you at that moment, and for that thing you're actually studying at that point. Another thing you should remember is that it is very important to start early. Like I said at the beginning of this video, my exam is 5 months, is in 5 months. So some people that's like, that's a long time. So some people that's like even a short time. For me, I just know myself. I know I started pre-reg like about August 2nd, which is like, it should be a whole year. Some people do recommend that you literally start revising from day one of starting pre-reg, and some people say they were able to study it in a space of 1 month before the exam. You just need to do what works for you. I prefer starting early enough, not too early, because for me, if I had started in August till now, I wouldn't actually have learned anything. I would have to keep starting from scratch all over again now that I've actually got a date and I've got 5 months left. So that time would have been a wasted time, and I could even spend it to learn more on the job, which is what I did. I learned more on the job. It's not like studying doesn't have to be just sitting down, but I've been able to actually learn a lot from the job throughout the past 5 months of the pre-registration year. So me starting my revision now is not meaning that I'm just pushing it too late. I'm not. It's just how it works. So you need to find the time. But I do always recommend to start early. I'm not really a last minute person, and I won't recommend last minute, but if that's what works for you, do what works for you. So the next thing is that, what if all these plans, all these things, all this preparation I've put out there and I've mentioned previously don't work? What do you do? Then this is where it comes in. Do you remember I said I always put 2 weeks to the end of my exam, close to my exam. I always leave it empty for nothing, and that 2 weeks is for if something doesn't go as planned. So for example, you might think you want to study a certain topic in like a week, but randomly life gets in the way. It's taking you 2 weeks to learn that topic, or maybe the content is not sinking in properly. It takes you longer to learn that topic than you anticipated. So it's okay to actually move things around, you know, like fit things in. Be flexible with your revision time, be flexible with your revision preparation. Things could go well, things could go the other way, so always be flexible with it. And I'm telling you, no plan actually goes as planned. That's the thing. Sometimes when you plan something, it doesn't really go as planned. You should have a plan B, C, D, E up the way to when you know that you've achieved your goal. So always have another plan. Be flexible with your plans and be ready to sort of move things around to study. For example, if you're learning a topic that is so long and you just can't get it, it could be that you're getting bored of that topic. Just shut it, close it, skip that topic for now, and then pick up something else to cover. Because if not, at this point you'll be wasting your time focusing on that one topic that you could not understand, when you could spend that time learning something else that you could understand, and you could use that time wisely by reaching out to people to help you understand that topic, instead of spending a lot of time wasting it on that topic when you still don't understand. So that's it, guys. That is how I prepare for my exams. I hope you've been able to learn 1 or 2 things from this video today. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and also share with your friends. And I'll see you all in my next video. Have a good day. Bye bye.